When the Heat and Jazz clinched divisional titles on April 16, 2000, they became the 10th and 11th teams in history to win 4 or more consecutive NBA divisional championships.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. By the end of the 1999-2000 season, the Heat had won 52 games and a 4th straight Atlantic Division title. Alonzo Mourning again led the league in block shots and was named Defensive Player of the Year for the 2nd consecutive season. Mourning brought his Heat to the playoffs for the 5th straight year, and this time Miami would be matched up against the Detroit Pistons in the first round and would be without their all-star guard, Tim Hardaway.
Before a sellout crowd in the brand-new American Airlines Arena, Miami took a 2-0 series lead led by Anthony Carter, Alonzo Mourning, and Jamal Mashburn.
Look out for the lead. Big play by the Mashman.
That was a good feeling, especially being in a new environment and seeing that atmosphere.
The Heat have won! The Heat have won Game 2!
The series would end in Detroit with a Heat win in Game 3, completing a first-round sweep, another franchise first. The Heat moved on to the Eastern Conference semifinals against a team they knew all too well. For the 4th consecutive postseason, Miami would once again battle with the New York Knicks.
It was just inevitable that the two of us would find our way to meet each other.
These guys were our arch rival. They were our nemesis. They were the ones that was always right there in front of us. And I feel like we want it. We got to go take it.
The series began in Miami with Tim Hardaway back in the Heat starting lineup. But it was Alonzo Mourning's 26 points that would help the Heat take Game 1.
Mourning.
No way.
Alonzo Mourning.
In Game 2, the Knicks would even the series with a 6-point win in Miami.
Ewing overshot. Tough shot that drops.
In Game 3 at Madison Square Garden, the Heat and the Knicks would battle fiercely through 4 quarters and into overtime.
Carter with 5, drives, lofts it up, tipped down!
As the series continued, both teams would hold serve on their own home court. The Knicks won Game 4 in New York.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And the Heat took a 3-2 series lead with a hard-fought win in Game 5.
Marley from deep. Oh my. Did you say deep? That was in Broward County, folks.
Miami now had the opportunity to close out the series with a Game 6 win in New York.
Time to play. It's time to finish.
Carter for 3 and the win. No good. New York wins.
Everybody knew every game was going to go down to the wire. Every single series was the 7th game, and every 7th game went down to the wire.
For the 4th year in a row, that deciding game would be in Miami, and once again would be decided in the final seconds of the final game.
We had control of the game with about a minute to go, and then we made a defensive error that opened up a Patrick Ewing dunk.
I went for a steal on Patrick when I could have just played behind him and played him tough and made him take a tougher shot.
They're coming inside to Ewing. And Ewing with a jam as Alonzo Mourning, for some reason, gambled and went over the top, leaving Ewing a clear path to the bucket.
With the Knicks ahead by 1 point, the Heat had one final chance to win the game and the series, following a timeout with 7 seconds to play.
I kick it out to Mash, thinking Mash would take that shot. And instead of shooting the ball, Mash passed it to Spoon.
When I saw Patrick Ewing running at me, I understood what type of defense they would play. So if I pump faked or I tried to drive, I knew there would be a collapse and somebody would be open. And I swung at the Clarence Weatherspoon. But what I wasn't expecting was Clarence Weatherspoon, I guess, to hesitate or ball fake with it.
Marley makes a stab, can't get it, and Sprewell with the ball.
Here it is, an opportunity that was missed, and it was nothing we could do about it. It was Game 7. New York came in and got it done, whereas we didn't take care of business as we should have.
It was just horrible, losing again to them by 1 point. When we knew we had the better team, we always had the better team, but they just prevailed some type of way all other time.
That game just felt like, the Knicks had just ripped all the life out of us because preparation that whole year was, hey, this is the year we're going to win a championship, and we felt it. We felt like we were the team.
Losing that series, I knew walking off the court that was the end of my Heat career. But not just because I didn't take the shot or we lost that game, but I felt it was time for everybody to move on at that particular time.
3 years in a row, heartbreaking, deciding game losses to the same team. It was just too much frustration to bear.
And it wound up coming to a 15-foot jumper. A 15-foot jumper that bounced out determined 48 months of our lives.
Without even anybody saying anything to me, an era was over. And this thing would be dismantled. I mean, there would be a few pieces that stay apart, but it was done.
You know, the ball just didn't bounce our way, and all those series came down to one play, one shot, one mistake. It was very, very disheartening.
This would be the final chapter in the Heat-Knicks playoff rivalry, clearly the NBA's best rivalry in the 90s. It was 4 straight years of playoff battles that all went the distance. But after being eliminated by New York for the 3rd straight year, changes were coming for Miami. Thank you for watching this edition of Inside the Heat. I'm Eric Reed.